So have you ever wanted to dive into some serious 3D modeling, for engineering or product design, maybe 3D printing, but then you saw the price tag on professional software and just stopped? Well, today we're looking at FreeCAD. It's an open source program that promises all that professional power, but for absolutely zero cost. The big question is that promise just a little too good to be true?
And look, this slide pretty much says it all, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the industry-standard software, and that can cost you hundreds, even thousands of dollars every single year. And on the other side, FreeCAD, with a price tag of exactly zero. That is a pretty powerful argument right out of the gate.
But here's the real question, right? This is what we're really going to dig into. The software might be free, but your time? That's not free. So is the learning curve, the workflow of a free tool actually worth investing your most valuable resource?
Let's find out. We're going to start at the very beginning. What's it actually like to open up FreeCAD for the first time and just, get your bearings?
Okay, so when you first fire it up, you get a layout that's probably going to look pretty familiar if you've ever used CAD software. You've got your main 3D view where all the action happens, a model pane over on the side that shows you the history of your project, and a task pane that changes based on what you're doing. But what's really cool is how customizable it is. You can just drag and drop these panels and toolbars pretty much wherever you want to make it feel right for you.
Now, this is a huge deal, especially when you're starting out. Navigation. Moving around in 3D space can be super awkward if you're not used to it. But FreeCAD doesn't force you to learn its own weird way. Instead, it lets you pick a control scheme you might already know. So if you're coming from Blender or Tinkercad or even just using a laptop touchpad, you can just select that style and feel right at home. It's a brilliant little feature that makes getting started so much easier.
Okay, so your workspace is all set up. How do you actually make something? Let's break down the core process of creating a 3D object from scratch.
But first, we got to talk about this key concept, parametric modeling. This isn't like drawing in MS Paint. This is about building an intelligent model that's defined by rules, or parameters. Think of it like a recipe. If you want to make your final part wider, you don't have to redraw the whole thing. You just go back to the recipe and change the width number from, say, 10 millimeters to 15, and bam, the model updates itself. This is really the secret sauce of professional CAD software.
And here it is, the whole process in a nutshell. It really boils down to 3 simple steps. First, you draw a flat 2D shape. Second, you lock it down with rules. And finally, you give it some thickness to make it a real 3D part. Let's look at each one.
So, step 1 is the sketch. Every single complex 3D object, I don't care how complicated it looks, it starts its life just like this, as a simple, flat 2D shape drawn on a plane.
Now this is where the magic happens. You add what are called constraints. These are just the rules that make your model smart. You can tell it things like, hey, this line has to be 50 millimeters long, or these 2 lines need to be perfectly parallel, or this circle needs to be centered. And as you add these rules, the sketch gets more and more rigid until it's totally locked in. And you'll know you've done it right because the whole thing turns green. It's like a little pat on the back telling you your design is solid.
And the final step, once you've got that solid green sketch, is you use a tool like Pad. All that really means is you're giving it depth, extruding it. And just like that, your flat 2D drawing becomes a real, solid 3D object. That's the core loop. Sketch, constrain, pad.
But of course, FreeCAD is about way more than just making simple blocks. One of its most powerful ideas is how it organizes its tools into something called workbenches. Let's see what that's all about. So the whole program is broken down into these workbenches. The best way to think about them is like different toolboxes for different jobs. Instead of overwhelming you with every single tool all the time, you just switch to the toolbox you need for the task at hand, whether that's designing a building or getting something ready for a 3D printer. For example, you can switch over to the Arch workbench. This thing is packed with special tools for designing buildings. You can do floor plans, walls, windows, you name it. It's actually a surprisingly powerful tool for architectural work.
And for all you makers out there, this is for you. There are dedicated workbenches for getting your designs made in the real world. You can use the Path workbench to generate the code for a CNC machine, or you can slice up your models and get them ready for a 3D printer.
And it doesn't stop there. This is honestly kind of wild. It has an FEM, or Finite Element Method workbench. This lets you run seriously complex engineering simulations to see how your parts are going to bend and break under stress. This is high-end stuff you usually have to pay a ton for, and it's just another workbench in FreeCAD.
All right, so there's no denying it.
FreeCAD is incredibly powerful. It's a full-on parametric modeler with a massive range of tools. So now we get to the really important question. Should you actually use it? Let's hear what people who use this stuff every day have to say.
You hear this one a lot. For a ton of people, especially if they're working in the industry, there's this really strong feeling that if you're doing professional work, you just need a professional tool, one that's polished and backed by a company. And here's a comment that gets right to the heart of that whole cost of your time question. The argument is that, because FreeCAD was built by programmers for programmers, the way you do things can sometimes feel, clunky, or just not as smooth as the commercial software that has millions of dollars poured into user experience design.
This one is pretty blunt, but it perfectly frames that trade-off, right? The idea is you're either paying with your money for a polished experience, or you're paying with your time to work around the quirks of a free tool.
And finally, there's the career angle, which is a huge deal. If you learn something like SolidWorks, that's a skill you can literally put on your resume that employers will recognize. Right now, being a FreeCAD expert just doesn't carry that same kind of weight in the job market.
So let's just lay it all out side by side. On cost, FreeCAD wins, no contest. But when it comes to workflow, that's its biggest weakness. It can be clunky compared to the more polished feel of the paid stuff. Resume value? The industry standard tools have a huge advantage there. But then you get to flexibility, and because FreeCAD is open source, it can be customized and extended in ways a closed program just can't. And finally, support. You're relying on the kindness of the community versus having a dedicated support team you can call.
Okay, so with all of that on the table, where does that leave us? Who is the right person to invest their time learning FreeCAD?
And really, this is the bottom line. FreeCAD is an absolutely amazing choice if you're a hobbyist or a maker who wants real power without paying a subscription. It's a lifesaver for students on a tight budget or for anyone who needs the crazy flexibility that only open source software can offer. But if your main goal is building a career in engineering, or you're working somewhere where speed is money, then investing in an industry standard tool is probably the more practical move. In the end, it all comes down to what you value more, your money or your time.